All right. I love working with dads in recovery. Holy shit. Tonight, in a few hours here, 2 hours, is our fourth module in our recovery course, or not a recovery course, our dads in recovery course. And tonight is about connecting with their kids. Tonight is about parenting. Tonight is about being a dad in relationship with our kids, and it's a you know I don't going deeper and deeper into this course of dads in recovery. I see that none of us were ready to be a dad. None of us had any friggin' idea about how to be a dad, and yet for the most part we we didn't say that. We didn't say that. We didn't talk about it. We didn't, And why didn't we talk about it? Why is it so hard for dads in recovery to reach out for help? Um, you know, Most of the fellas in my program right now, there's 14 courageous men, are facing some of their fears. They're facing their, like, holy shit, stuff's coming up they didn't expect. And and most of them are not with the mothers of their children. And how did that happen? You know, we've kind of accepted in our society that uh, marriages end in divorce. I think with addicts and alcoholics, the number is much higher than in regular, normal folks. We call them the normies. Addicts and alcoholics, we do tend to burn through relationships. And why do we burn through relationships? I think that the number one reason is fear. Fear. Fear is, we're shot through with it. It talks about it in the fourth step, where fear is one of the things that we deal with, that we make a list of, that we look at really closely. Fear, baby. Fear is why we don't ask for help. Fear is why we struggle in relationships. It in our big book. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about, but we have a text in the 12-step world called the Big Book, and it was our primary text. It was the whole program came out of that text in the beginning. And in the Big Book, it says that fear set in motion trains of circumstance we felt we didn't deserve. So basically what Bill was saying is that we created our reality with fear. And what are men afraid of? Men who are dads in recovery, men who are in relationship with women in recovery, or men who are in relationship, I suppose, with men in recovery. What are we afraid of? We're afraid of being rejected. We want to be approved of. Many of us are, when we come into recovery, we're adolescents, sometimes in 40 and 50-year-old bodies, but we're adolescents, and we've been hiding it our whole lives. We've been hiding the fact that we had fear. We've been hiding the fact that we didn't know, and we didn't want to tell anybody that we didn't know how to be in life, how to be in relationship, how to be a dad, how to be a husband. And so we had a lot of fear. So what I see is in working with dads in recovery and sober dads is that the fear continues even after. So the relationship with the mother of our children has changed. It's not over, it's changed. Family's not finished, it's just changed. And we're angry, and often, and there's lots of not always, but there's fighting going on, and arguments going on, and lawyers are involved, and we're all stomping our feet and trying to get our way, and asking for more, and afraid we're going to lose something, so we're acting out of fear. And so here we have this program, this recovery program, that actually teaches us how to deal with fear and how to trust the moment, how to be in a relationship with a higher power, how to be in love. And but we're dads in recovery, and it's hard. We're like, We're pretending that we know what to do. We're pretending that we know how to be a good dad. And some of us, we're doing the best we can, but very hard to reach out for help. And I'm seeing it right in the middle of my course. It's the men dragging their feet. They're like, holy shit, we're learning stuff we didn't know that we didn't know. And with learning, of course, comes responsibility. And with awareness comes responsibility. And last week we went really deep into the subject of, continuing to love the mother of our children. I mean, hello. It really doesn't matter what she's done or hasn't done. Just we recognize that we've broken the trust. We've damaged the relationship. We've been dishonest with her. We probably were extremely dishonest going in. Men have a tendency to oversell in the early days of the relationship, really, pumping ourselves up, and then under delivering, right? So here we are in a relationship with the love of our life, but it shifts, because children come along and it shifts, and it's like we're not the most important person in the house anymore, are we? No, the kids are. And her instincts are to look after the children, and she'll fight for them generally. So, but here we are, the basis of our thing, and I'm getting at it from working with these fellas, and going deeper into this, is that we're afraid. We're afraid we're not going to get approved of. We're afraid we're going to get left alone. We're afraid we're not going to have that connection, that we wanted to have with the lady of our lives. And that's the nature of the illness. That's the nature of our disease, if addiction and alcoholism. We're in recovery, and the first thing that has to be really dealt with, is surrender. What are we surrendering? We're surrendering running the show, right? And what is it that's been making us want to run the show? Our fears, our judgments, our imagining that we know how things are supposed to be, and so we're running it from fear, and it doesn't work, because what we fear we create. All right, just get that. If you're in fear that you're not going to be able to see your kids, guess what? That can happen. I know it sounds crazy, but it can happen. So we have to breathe in and breathe out. Be in this moment. In this moment, there's nothing to fear, and we have to ask for help. We ask our Creator, higher power, this moment, for help, universal intelligence, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. We ask for help, and fear will begin to fade. But the fear's a little elusive. I see it, I see, as I'm working with these fellas, and I see that, fear, we can't see it. We're unaware that we're acting out in fear. We think we're doing the right thing, and fear creeps in, changes the schedule, All right. So the course is going well. If you know any dads in recovery that, want to be challenged and to learn and to become aware, what puts me, I guess, in a position to be able to do this is almost 42 years of being a dad in recovery. This year sometime it will be 42 years of being a dad in recovery. I got 3 great kids. I'm very, very, very blessed. And 5 grandchildren, and 2 wonderful exes. The mother of my kids are my friends. We just worked it out, and family just got bigger. So it can work. Amazing things can happen. The family model just changes if that's the case. And if you're lucky enough to still be with the mother of your kids, and you're working on this together, having some support is the deal. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're sharing. So if you know anybody that's a dad in recovery, get them to give me a call. We're going to do this again and again and again. I love doing it. You know, I'm committed to helping men be great fathers, men in recovery to be great dads, to see themselves and to use the principles of the program to have a family, cohesive, harmonious family filled with love. It's all possible. No matter where you're at right now, it's all possible. It's just, I got so many great stories. Anyway, love you guys. Think about the men. We start our class at 7 tonight, coming up in a couple hours. And tonight we're on, it's about communicating with our kids. Some of the men have younger kids and they're single dads. And so it's also about boundaries and discipline. I'm going to share from a teaching, reading a book just about called No Drama Discipline, and it's really, really good, Dr. Daniel Siegel. And so we're just going to talk about, we can investigate other sources of how to do this job, how to be a great dad. So that's it. Love you, and thanks for your support. Cheers.